Hey everybody, some Gadget Guy here, and if you've been following my coverage on this latest generation of smartphones, you would know that I've actually been a little lukewarm on the Galaxy S6. I think Samsung's approach to changing up their design is sexy as hell. Glass and metal just looks cool, but I think their focus on thinness has led them to some interesting compromises when it comes to things like battery life and overall durability. Especially now that I've been playing with the Galaxy S6 Active, I definitely prefer the experience here simply because I get substantially better runtime out of this humongous battery. Well, the folks at ZeroLemon reached out to me with one of their newest case offerings. Now, this is a rubbery bumper case, which comes with a 3,500 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. It should help the Galaxy S6 feel a little bit more durable, and it should add a whole second day of battery life to the equation. ZeroLemon's solution here is a multi-piece affair. We have this battery brick. This is a 3,500 milliamp hour battery in a nicely portable shell. We've got a micro USB port at the bottom, which connects via this little U adapter, which we're going to talk about here in just a sec. And then the actual charge port is here on the side, which matches up with the side cutout on the casing. Assembly is pretty easy. We take this little micro USB U adapter and we plug it into the bottom of the battery. We've got a little lip there, not a lot of room to make sure the phone slides in, but they should fit together pretty snugly. I'm gonna slide my S6 right along the bottom of that battery. Just gonna pop that into the port there. Gotta be careful not to wiggle it around too much. You don't wanna break that little inner piece. And here's where you wanna start being a little careful with how you handle this affair. We've got the S6 connected via its micro USB port to this battery pack. Sliding them around too much, there's nothing securing the battery pack to the back of the phone. This can slide now. So as you're popping it into the case, you want to be careful not to let this wiggle around too much, or you might damage one of the USB connectors or even the U adapter that comes provided with the battery. But we're going to flip this over. Just kind of slide that into the bottom of the phone and then push the casing up around it. Now, you do have to be careful with glass screen protectors. I've been using this case for a couple days and the fit is a little snug. It always seems to pop off on this one corner right here. I'm using the Moshi iVisor glass screen guard on my phone. And while the phone stays in place fine, it's not like it's wiggling around or trying to pop out, I can almost always feel this one little corner start to clip off the side of the phone. And seeing as how there's not a lot of protection from this little ridge that runs along the device, I'd still recommend using some kind of screen protector. And it almost always seems to pop from using the power button, so I've also just gotten into the habit of using the home button to turn on my S6. Now, walking around the case, we've got a nice clicky little power button. You can feel the power button through this rubber pad very nicely. Ditto the volume rockers, which are split. They're individual volume rockers, just like the volume rocker on the actual S6. And like I mentioned before, we now have the charge port here on the side of the device. This charges through the battery to your phone. We no longer have charging on the bottom of the phone. Nice attention to detail here at the top with the secondary microphone and the IR blaster. Now flipping it around, we no longer have bottom firing speakers, but we do have the main calling microphone and an extended port for the headphone jack. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. The front face of the phone is now where we'll find cutouts for the speakers, and this is actually kind of helpful. You know how I've whined and complained about speakers being pointed in the wrong direction? Well, these little flaps of rubbery plastic now sort of redirect the sound for you, so you're not having to cup with a hand to get sound to bounce from the back of the phone or the bottom of the phone up into your face. We have a super deep trench for the camera. This makes me super glad too. Because the phone has to add some girth to include that super large battery, we get the benefit of better protection for our camera sensor. I'm leaving this little wood cover that I got from Slick Wraps on the back of my camera just because it sticks out so far from the back of the phone that I'm worried. I've already have a scratch on it, and I'm actually worried about cracking it just under normal wear and tear. The one bummer about this case is that it does make it more difficult to get a finger in there to use the heart rate monitor. And at the bottom of the case, we see the ZeroLemon logo and a power button. A single press on this power button will show you how much charge you have left, and a long press will activate charging. So now, even though my Galaxy S6 is almost completely charged, you can see it's still topping off that last percent on my phone. Now, as you can imagine, that's a lot of plastic chin at the bottom to protect the micro USB U adapter that connects the battery to this phone. So there's a little difficulty in getting a headphone jack in there, which is why they include a headphone extension cable. And this is a proper TRRS adapter, which means when you plug this in, it's not just for headphones, it'll give you full headset capabilities. If I have a nitpicky with the design on this, removing the phone is something that you want to do very carefully. But once you start popping the phone out of the case, and again, I can almost always get it from the corner on the power button side, You don't want to just pry the phone out because it's connected down on the micro USB connector at the bottom. You want to bend the rubber away from the back of the phone, get a finger up under the battery so you can pinch these together, and that way you can slide both out at the same time and you don't have to worry about accidentally damaging any of these connectors here at the bottom of the battery or your phone. Lastly, it should be mentioned that since you have a big hunk of battery on the back of this phone, this is going to make using NFC and wireless charging pretty much impossible. So if those are features that you're constantly using, then this is not a full-time case solution. This is gonna be one of those part-time solutions when you just know you need crazy long runtime. As I mentioned before, I've been using this case for a couple days now, and it has been giving me now better than 2-day battery life on the Galaxy S6. But it does come in on a size advantage. It makes the phone significantly heavier, and it is a bulkier affair than just using some kind of bumper case for protecting the phone. And it's noticeably bigger than a solution like the Galaxy S6 Active. Now overall, this has been a pretty cool case, but this is not a case I like to use full time. It does make the phone a little thicker, does make the phone a little heavier, but if you're not entirely impressed with the battery life on your Galaxy S6, this is one potential solution to give yourself substantially better runtime. Now pricing on this battery pack case has fluctuated a little bit. I've seen it sell online between $29.99 and $39.99, which even at the high end is still a pretty decent price for a decently large battery to pack into a bumper case. Plus, ZeroLemon will be selling these battery packs separately, so you could conceivably charge a number of these and just run your phone for weeks at a time. Just keep swapping them in the back of the case and you never even have to turn your phone off. Folks, I'll leave some links down below this video where you can get more information on ZeroLemon products and where you can shop this puppy online. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe for more videos and reviews like these, and I would not be able to continue producing on this channel if you all weren't out there sharing my videos on social sites like Twitter and Facebook and Reddit and the Googles Plus, so please keep bringing more cool people to the party. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you all on the next review.